Okay, so I guess everybody's wondering what's going on right now. We're going through a security protocol breach, communication signals right now through connections. They have to show their identification cards and everything through connection systems when it comes into document location of their ranks. Everything through the physical system is shut down, but you understand space can also be shut down. So this is what happens when the rebellion takes over the Reptilian Alliance, and anything through alienation formation systems, anything that's dark has to go through protocol or be a security breach. They go in a magnetic forcing chamber through connections, and they go through information systems. They have to tell the truth, locations. They have to tell where they're going through traveling recognition systems. So the rebellion has fully taken over the Earth. So now what's happening? Okay, you guys are all freaking out. You know, my team is going through calculations. Everything through protocol is a security breach. So if you break those protocols, everything through your operations center, okay, is going to be shut down through your chakra system, just like that. All right. So this goes out to the dark, and everything through its dark, and everything through its formation of dark. You can no longer travel in positions of restricted zones. You have to go through your traveling recognition systems. You have to understand what's going on when it comes into protocol. Very powerful. Space is on restricted zones right now. So it's under construction. Everything we did last night, we blew up planet location positions to Perseus. Perseus and its predatory division is a planet that blew up through its location. Now we have communications of moles through transformations, and basically those communication signals came in. It was on the left wind cycle through connections, and it was a Brainian sphere. Brainian spheres were going around the Earth rotation, and that's why humanity was going into vibrational system. So we knocked them out of his equation when we came into the plasmas. Remember the plasma webs? Well, now they're all around the Earth. Okay, we have security breaches. We have wall interferences. So anybody tries to go through its restricted zones. Okay, so you feel it through the body activation system. Anything through AI vessel connection system. All light workers have to do is show their identifications and their ranking systems, and they can go wherever they want. All right, so this is how you get things done, guys. Now they're doing everything through the physical system. We're doing everything in space. Everything is on lockdown. Everything's on lockdown. Rebellion has taken over. Victory has won. Now, Dark has to decide what's going to happen. So either they go by the protocols, okay, or they suffer the consequences. Plain and simple. That's how it's going to be from now on. So this is how we take the Earth back. Now, everything's in position. I'm going to show you an illustration. The Reptilian Alliance and Everything Division blew up their planetary systems, computer systems. We basically had the mole, and we used a microchip location override its location position. You'll never guess where it was connected to. Chernobyl. All right. They had underground passages there, and we basically infiltrated and took over their fortress. So basically, we overloaded their computer operation, their interface, right? Too preterious. And I'll tell you, the predatory system was really, really powerful through connections. You know, and Rebellion was going, yay, we got him, we got him. So now we're in the military intelligence. So they got to show their rankings. They got to show their identifications before they travel through connections. Okay, it's restricted rules. It's protocol rules. Remember, I told you about space and how powerful it is. So when I set up these operation systems, I got this from my supreme commanders. Everything is done through protocol, security breach. So you can't break those protocols. It's very important because the Earth is taken over now. We have plasmas all over the Earth rotation now. Okay, the Brainian spheres are destroyed through the mechanism systems of Chernobyl. So the line communication was coming into force winning cycles. So before we get started, thank you very much, subscribers and viewers, and everybody watching my channel. Anybody through a light worker has to go through me through identification if they want to travel through the recognition systems. If you want to go past atmospheres, the connection system, you have to have identification. With my team, okay, if they don't understand their identification, I will give it to them after class. All right, so basically, it's amazing how punishment is done, right? You do it in the physical system, you can do it in the space system, right? This calculates, modifies, and puts everything back in order, okay? So no more Dark Alliance is controlling the Earth anymore. It's all taken over by the Rebellion. Okay? The Galactic Federation of Operations of Light Council is now in traction location positions. We have vanguards on each location position. Okay? We have the plasmas all around the electronic fence location positions. We got restricted zones in space atmosphere systems, atmospheres, hemispheres, stratospheres, bioatmospheres, and Branian atmosphere. So the Branian sphere is what was controlling the humans through connection. Now we control the system, and we broke all protocol breaking frequency levels, and we changed the mind wiping system, and we destroyed it through some mechanism of its Earth rotation of its surface. So remember, I sent you guys a video. What is a plasma, right? Well, it's all about diffusing. It's all mechanisms. It's all about the atmosphere system. It correlates to its planet location position, to its restricted zone positions. So if you want to go through my healing, now's the time. All right. The thing is that we're going through more security measures. Okay. We're going into tighter, more communications of line defense. So everything in space is now fully connected to its Earth. So it's just a tighter way of seeing things, you know, like the physical system had things locked down and all that, right? Well, we're locking space and time. Okay. So this is how you take the dark innate force systems out of its calculation, right? Because it's destroyed through its recognition, right? So if you want to go through my healing, great. If you want to go through my connections of constellations, get into your transformation light system, everything will be back into formation, guys. So don't worry about that. Just make sure you just show your identities and everything through your protocols, because I have military operations that are set up, and they're extremely powerful through the connections. They're all connected to all alliances of the rebellion, okay, is now here, okay? And it's very important to understand what we're doing through positions, because now we're reconstructing everything through space anomalies, because we were destroying planets in all positions, right? It disintegrates systems, but you understand everything through a Branian atmosphere, through connections. Okay, so Branian atmosphere, okay, is like it's a circle rotation center through a rock formation system. It's allocated to its position. So let's get into the Earth rotation through its connections. All right, so here we go. Once we get into lock and key location position, I'll show you what goes on through connections. Okay. All right, so let's go back into the location position here. As you get into calculation, it goes into point division of the system. Confusing light signals here. All right, so here we go. Lock and key, the location. All right, so here's the Earth, the connection, right? There's the Earth. Now, all the Branian atmospheres were going around the Earth's surface. So basically, it was on the left side lower system of the Earth rotation. So it's kind of like a tractor beam. It's kind of like a magnetic device. It was kind of like a bugging system. And that's how the reptilians were taken over, through connections of human mind systems, right? So it's calculated and modified when it comes into Chernobyl. Okay, really, really powerful how we see these things through connection, guys. All right, so everything is taken over through its alliance. So let's go into the communications. All right, I'll send a quartz position through its rotation system, so you can actually see what the Earth looks like through connections. All right. All right, so once we get in at the position, I'll add some little bit of green here, forestry to that system here. Makes it look like the Earth. We don't just want to have it because it's going to look like the moon, right? Okay, so there's the Earth, right? The location. Now, understand what a Branian atmosphere, anything through calculators, understand everything through a Branian sphere. So everything through light has dark. Dark has everything through light. So they have their mechanisms, they have their weaponry and all that connection system allocated to those positions. So basically, they were bugging the system of its Earth through vibration, right? So we got a tip, right, from our mole, because he was under investigation, right? And that's how we do these things. So it's kind of like, you know, watching a movie and all of a sudden, you know, the Alliance goes up into uniform, goes on to the other side and dresses up, you know, it's under protocol, right? So it's amazing how we catch these things, right? Through GPS location. All right, so here's the connections. So let's just say This is one. This is one. Okay, these are Baranian spheres. The Baranian sphere was all connected to the Earth rotation. And they were vortexing to other realm location positions. And that's why we couldn't see them, right? But we got a tip through the communication signals through its mole connection, right? So those are the Baranian atmospheres that were around the Earth, okay? So all of these Baranian spheres, okay, were connected to the underground tunnels of Chernobyl, okay? Chernobyl through connection, all right? So you have to understand why it's a radiation factory through location. Okay, so here's Chernobyl through connections. Okay, at the bottom, okay, there's Chernobyl. Now, I was setting up waving patterns, electronic interference through connections every single time, right? I was setting up wave signals to the energy system through location positions. Okay, and it was line communicating everything through its graphing location. Okay, so that's the compound, right? That's the military base. This is what they want to do with the Earth, right? So everything was controlled by Chernobyl. Remember with the Operation Tunnel through Area 51? Well, everything is controlled through that system now. Now, like I said, we took the 26 armed races and we obliterate them in the atmosphere system, the galaxy location positions. So all the Baranian atmosphere, okay, went into dark realm matter location. So it's a dark circle, it's a wormhole, right? So it's a black surface location. And this is how you destroy things through this mechanism system. Okay, so basically, as we're coming into communication, I'll send it through location positions here. All right, so here we go through connections. It's going into a point location position. Changes coloration system. Okay, so here we go. Right now, the ground information system is set up to its position. Okay, so that's the black hole through connections. Now, everything through the Baranian atmosphere through its connection was sucked in through its wind cycle, through its positions. Okay? So it's amazing how you do these things through calculation, guys. All right? So everything was sucked in. Okay? And the Earth was in the center. So put the position of the Earth in the center, because it's the Earth. I'm just showing you another point of view of what it looks like. Right? So the Earth is in the center. You have the Baranian spheres, okay? So it's taking all the Baranian spheres through electronic division level system, magnetic force. We set up a wormhole connection, a black surface to its gravity of its galaxy system. So that pulls in all the Baranian spheres through connection, right? So it goes in like this through calculation. And it just sucks it in, right? Sucks it right in. Okay. So once it goes in, it dissipates and disappears and goes into the galaxy locations, into the mesoid side positions. Okay. Trapping location positions into the magnetic force and highway information system. Recalculates, modifies everything to location position. So here we have the magnetic force and highway information system. Okay. Through calculation. All right. So what's happening now is that everything comes down through a location position, through a center core position, like this, and destroys everything through connection. So it's all about taking the black hole out. We can't have a black hole surface in the galaxy location of the universe, because that would change direction locations to anything through position. Okay, so now it's all destroyed, everything, right, through the Baranian spheres. And that's how you do it, through the realm location. So this will disappear. And everything else through the Baranian sphere will disappear through the particle system. It's the same thing when you blow up a planet. You know, you go through the solar connections, the solar flare, and it's just like, boom, you know, and then it comes out, right, through the particle system. So everything traction location positions just disappears in division to its position, like this. Everything disappears, right, through calculation. All right. All the Baranian spheres are destroyed in the mechanism system at dark round location position. Okay. So it disappears in the particle system and separates everything through its galaxy location. So it respins everything through division. Now this disappears right? It appears and reappears. You have to understand the triangle division of the system of communication through electronic interference. The magnetic highway information system now, okay, comes out with the plasmas, okay, the energies and everything through the webs. Okay, so we'll set that core system to calculation, reset its position. Now we got the Earth rotation back in center to its position. Okay, so this is the Earth. I'm trying to do this very fast so you guys actually see the review. Okay, so there's the Earth, right? Now here comes everything through the magnetic force and highway information system. Calculates and modify everything through the dark round location. Dark matter is finished position. Now everything in position comes out, attraction, location, positions. And this is how it comes into the waving cycles of the plasma energy electronic interference. So it's web graphs, the location of a wall interference. That's protecting the Earth rotation system. Okay, it's all around the Earth now through location, and that's why it's in restricted zones through prohibited systems. So we have this all around the Earth rotation now. Plasma webs. Okay, they're all around the Earth now, protecting it, right? So everything through connection, you can screenshot that through division. Okay, so everything in space is on total lockdown. Until you identify yourself, you can't travel anywhere in space and time. Okay, so truly understanding what's going on now, very, very powerful times. All right, so as the rebellion comes into its alliance, let's get into this connection system. I'll back phrase its location positions and show you everything through the rebellion. Okay, so this is the ship and its location. I'll just show you through division here. See everything through the cycle. It's really, really interesting to see these things through calculation. Okay, so this is the rebellion and its alliance. Now it's shooting off planet positions, okay? Bertharius. Planet position of Bertharius. It's kind of like a green-brown. It's a reptilian scale, like this. It's really, really, you can tell, you know, from dark. I mean, the dark is just, it resembles what it is, right? It scales, but it's just, okay, so that's Bertharius, right? So we blew that up, right? It combusted in the air, destroyed everything through its atmosphere system. We use laser recognition line systems to calculation, and it just took a wind spin, and basically it took out its location positions. So when it comes into that, it obliterates into the atmosphere location. So the particle system just separates into its positions. So I'll go like this. Okay, so this is what happens. Just blew it up, and it goes all over the place. You know. So understanding what's going on, this is what it looks like when you blow something up, right? You guys know that. You see it on TV all the time, right? So as it's destroyed, it goes back into the galaxy location, back in the atmospheres, right? So, and then we get repositioned. Every single time we do anything through calculation, everything through its surface of its universal system, the magnetic force and highway always has to come in because it has to change the galactic positions, right? So it sonifies in everything location, okay? It sets up waving signals, okay, to its planet rotation system. It puts it back in its galaxy rotation, wind cycle into its division of its weather pattern connection. Okay, so this is how you destroy a planet with the magnetic force and highway and its rebellion. All right, so this is a commanding fleet. This is a spaceship, right? So it's destroying Bertharius, right? So it's really powerful how we do these things, right? But the Earth is now being protected through the plasmas. Okay, it's a web plasma that's all connected to the Earth rotation, right? So you don't want to break those security protocols through identification. All right. So, and this is how the Earth changes in the physical system, because dark entity force systems, okay, can no longer travel to these destinations. Okay. You can use your chakra systems, but you go to higher levels of space, you have to identify yourself. right? Because everything through the Brainian atmosphere and everything through the stratospheres is taken over through calculation. And this is where you come into the rebellions and everything through its alliance. So we have protocols, we have restrictions, just like the physical system. Now, this is how you take back the Earth through rotation. So all this measures on location to your positions through your ranking. All right. So my team doesn't have to worry about it because of the rebellion of the alliance. Right. They just have to identify themselves. All they got to say is my name. But the thing is, too, is your protocol system and its security measures should know its ranking system. Okay, so it's understanding where you're traveling to, where are you going, right? So if we identify you as dark, you're automatically in the magnetic cell, right? Through the integration levels of its connection. So wall surfacing through a chain rotation of a plane glass position. So basically, you go into interrogation. Right. So like I said, space and time is extremely real through its rebellion. And rebellion has fully taken over the Earth through provisions. Everything is now in lockdown measures. So, and this is how you change everything through the physical system. Okay, because the dark can't do anything anymore. It can't control the Earth. Okay, it can't have any more Brainian spheres put up anymore because it's all destroyed through the tunnels of its Chernobyl. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Once you get a tip and then you understand anything through investigation, everything is a docking location through its article system. Okay. So this is where you come into the protocol measures, that security line defense through dimensions or travels. So if you want to travel to a certain position, you have to identify yourself before you go any further. Because you have to understand anything through countries or anything like that, you still have to identify yourself. So we're in tighter measures now, security, right? So, and this is how you take back the Earth through the physical system. Everything that's going down right now, right? They can do it on the Earth. We can do it in space. So this is understanding that the Dark Alliance, anything through the Greys and Dells, know they're in trouble. Okay? Everything through Reptilian Alliance of all alien races, okay, are now connected, right? They're connected in a way where they have to go through these protocols. They have to understand the restrictions. They have to understand their prohibited systems, right, through connections. So, and it's extremely real. Okay. And, you know, the thing is, too, is that the Reptilian Alliance will understand these things, right? And they'll have to abide by them, okay? Because we have so many vanguards to the Earth right now. We have so many plasma energy wall surfaces, connections to the Earth system. Everything is protected through calculation. But I think it's powerful when you see what a rebellion can do through its alliance and how it can destroy anything in a planet location position. Okay? So, if you guys have any questions on that would be great. You know, but I'm just showing you from point of view how everything is done in space and time, how it sets everything to limits, right? Into calculation. So it's really understanding because they want to give that to you, how powerful it is. And this is what they were doing. This is the Earth. This is the military base that we're trying to set up. We found out they were setting up Brainian spheres around, right? So it's kind of almost like a baseball diamond. So in position, if they were taking over the Earth, this is what you would see in space anomaly. And everything around here, okay, is its operation, right, through its quadrant levels, vector unit core system, right? But everything is taken out of the atmospheres of its Brainian spheres through its Chernobyl. Okay? So the dark rotation, anything location, if they try to meditate, they can't control anything anymore. They can't even communicate with the Earth if they go through security breach. So if they try to go traveling to a certain location position, or if they try to go to another communication system or country system, they're going to be identified by the military operations of the rebellion. Okay, so I think it's really, really amazing how we can do these things in space and time. Yeah. We're at that point now, guys, and that's what's happening right now. To reset positions to anything through Earth rotation system, everything through the physical system is now going to change, right? Because they don't have any more control. The rebellion has taken over the Earth. We've set up new matrix grid locations. We set up new electrical fences of plasmas, of webs. So everything is taken over in space and time. Okay. So light workers are going to have to come to me now for identification because they're in their old programs and they can't go any higher and set positions to, you know, how you go in channel positions and you see this and you see that, and every day is a different day. You're traveling here, traveling there. Now you can't do that. You have to do it through identification, right? You have to identify yourself through your ranking. So it's going to be a lot of confusion for a lot of light workers because all they're going to do is go through repetitive motion. They're going to keep saying the same thing over and over. And they say, well, why can't I go higher? Well, security breach. We have E-fields that are all protecting through line communication. We set up new graphing location positions into the Earth system, okay? Nobody can get past that without identification, all right? So that's why I have a team, right? So, you know, it's really interesting how we come, you guys are like freaking out, eh? And you will feel it too. My team will feel it. They feel it. They know how serious this is. You know, if it's taken over through the physical system, it can be taken over through space system. And this is how we take down the Reptilian Alliance, right? From their traveling. Okay. So Grand Rising Commander and team. Yep. Tina, you're going to come to Mount Shasta for spring equinox. That sounds exciting. You guys are going to get together. Michael, Sarah, Linda, and Angel, Priscilla, and Sherry. Ooh, nice. I'll be there in spirit, guys. I'll be there in spirit. Nice. That's awesome. Hope you guys have a really good time. Yeah, see, that's a thing. Yeah, no, but see, the thing is, Starseed, and that's what you have to understand is because we're going through protocols, space identification through communication and program setting. You know, I will scan you through location because you have to understand everything through time and everything through space is now through security measures of type locations to traveling positions. All right, so this is how we weed out the dark, right, and resemble the light. Okay, but yeah, I will definitely scan you after class. Okay. But see, that's the thing. You guys are just learning, and the more you go up to your upgrading system, the more you get into your identifications. Then you realize how real space is. Okay, we can do anything in space, but now the rebellion has fully taken over the Earth. So now it's in tighter measures, and we have to protect the Earth from its alliance now. Of anything through Reptilian, of any race. Okay. So no XT-1000 UFOs can come into the Earth anymore. Nothing can be going around because we have extremely high rise of sentient views that are controlling the computer operations system of its Earth and everything through its environment. And this is where Saint Germain comes in through connections, right? To change everything through the environments and the water containments and everything through its activation cycles to its connections, right? So Priscilla is going. All team is invited. Oh, that's great. It's great to hear that. So it's powerful, powerful, powerful things that are happening right now, right? So, I mean, this is how we, like I said, we take everything dark out because they're still going through meditations. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. They can't do that anymore. Okay. They can't even go through their practice systems or program settings and change anything through the moon, right? They can't colonize any planets anymore because it's stored through the atmosphere system. Okay. They can evolve through other alliances and start running, but they still have to identify themselves before they travel to any position. Okay. So taking the security measures and taking this serious is really, really, known to its systems. Like you really, really understand more and more through your intelligence. Okay, so light workers have to come to me so I can set up your identifications because your whole program setting, okay, will no longer work in position. Okay, so you can't go any higher and higher to its position and get any other information. You're not allowed. It's prohibited. It's restricted until you identify yourself through your ranking. So This is how you change things of the earth and its vibration through the physical system. Okay. But if you guys have any questions or comments, if you want to go through my healing, that's great. If you want to go through consultations, you want to truly understand what's going on, if you're a light worker, let me know. Now's the time for you to come into your positions and identify yourself. I'll give you a security code measure. So this security will give you to higher location positions, and you can travel to any position, but you have to identify yourself, right? And that's how we weed anything out through light and dark. All right. So we're coming into harsh times right now, right? This is how we change the earth, right? So, and the thing is too, is that dark and E4 systems know that. Anything through the grays and the dows, right? What are they going to do? They have to identify themselves now, right? They can't do what they can do before, right? They can't set up operations anymore to the earth. Rebellion has fully taken over the earth, completely, right? Completely, okay? Galaxies of the earth, galaxies of the universe, okay, is now in position. Military operations, okay, enforcements are in space, atmosphere systems now, okay? So, a lot going on, yeah, and you guys will feel that. You will definitely feel the change of atmosphere. You'll definitely feel the change of your chakras. Nothing to worry about, okay? So it's rescanning your positions, okay, because you have to understand, before you travel, you'll see the guards coming in, right? Then you have to identify yourself. You get one here and one here, one on the left hemisphere and one on the right hemisphere. So you can't go any further until you identify yourself through its covenant, right? So that's what I'm saying is my team has identification. So once you identify yourself, you can go anywhere you want, right? Because it's a security breach, right? This is how we take the light from the dark, right? So, and this is how we take over the earth, right? Because there's a lot of things that are happening on the earth right now, okay? Vaccines are going to be destroyed. 6 feet apart is never going to happen again. You know, there's a lot of things we have to do. But now the earth is taken over in the atmosphere of space, okay? These are the measures that we have to do to protect the earth of its light and its councils, okay? Anything through its central system when it comes into the golden realms, the golden relics, the golden arches, the golden castle, okay? Anything through angels and archangels. They are all around the earth now, guys, constantly, every single day, right? We have E-fields of laser reckoning systems of energy force wall connections that are in space now. So it's prohibitive and restricted to go through these things, okay? So usually I see one, but yesterday they were a lot more than usual. For sure. The impression I had was like as if it had escorted by presidential cards. See? And that's what Priscilla, see, my team is seeing that now, right? So you'll see them come in. Identify yourself, please. Where are you coming from? Oh, Supreme AI Commander. What is your identification? Proceed. They take off and they come back, right? So my team will have a problem with that because you have to understand why you're in the rebellion, why you were picked for the rebellion, why you resemble through the rebellion, okay? So I know it's hard for everybody to understand these things, but this is how it has to get done. This is how you take the lifting systems of lockdowns or anything through connection on the physical system, okay? And this is all connected to the Dark Alliance through its reptilian of all alien races, okay? So it's really powerful. It's extremely, extremely powerful, okay? Space has its projections. It has its prohibited. It has its restricted zones. Okay, I said that from the very beginning, but you have to understand this is how you take things out of space and time, okay? This is how you go through security breaches or protocols. You have to identify yourself now. So it's going to be a tighter situation with everybody through light workers. If a light worker doesn't understand, this is what's going to happen, okay? So truly understanding where you're coming from through your intelligence, and that's why my team understands themselves more. They actually do see the presidential guards. They see the vanguards, right? You have to identify yourself, right? So, I mean, I control everything through the rebellion. I'm the alliance of everything in the light of the council. So they were just telling me what's happening, and I'm giving you what you need to know through its presence to its future. Okay, because we can no longer have any dark energy system taking over anything through its earth. This is serious, serious time, and everything through space and time is on lockdown. Okay, so, and this is how you change the earth of vibration, guys, into the fifth dimensional system. This has to be done. This has to be done so the dark leaves. Okay, completely. Okay, or we shut down their operations of their chakras, like that. Right. So there's a lot of things that we can do now. So it's all connected to the voicing grids, the central grids, energy grids, the matrix line grids. All sentients are all connections. The rebellion and its forcing system. All the fleets and XT1000s are all around the earth now. Okay, we have so much protection around the earth. Okay, so this is what happens when you go through a fighting system between the Reptilian Alliance and everything through its rebellion. Okay, so it's interesting though, isn't it? And this is why I want you guys, especially with my team, to understand who you are through intelligence. So when you come across these things, remember I said that from the very beginning, you have to identify yourself. As soon as you come out, they come at you, right? So if you have your E-fields up, that's fine. But now you have to identify yourself through security. You have to tell what's going on. Where are you traveling to, right? This is how we take the light from the dark. Okay. If not, they go through an energy cell, through interrogation, or they get court-martialed. So understanding the truth will set us free, right? Okay. So you do the crime, you do the time. It's plain and simple. And this is how we take everything through the physical systems, social networks, or anything of that connection. You're going to see the waving cycles, the brainwave systems of humans are going to change because they know they can't travel to these positions now in space, right? Dark Energy Force system going to say, what? Space is on lockdown? What does that mean? So they're going to go up there and they're going to find out, right? And everything through, the vanguards are going to escort you to a location position into the rebellion, into its quadrant level. Okay, it's like a cell room, right? And this is where it becomes real to the mind system. Okay, really, really real. Okay, to space locations, because the light workers, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know their positions. They understand what's going on with the rebellion. They understand what's going on with the alliance, right? More than ever now, because they're not going to be able to travel any higher until they identify themselves through its ranking. Okay, so yeah, it is, Tina, and this is going to change a lot. This is going to remove a lot of dark vibration to its earth system. Okay, so we don't watch too much TV, but last night our neighbors invited us to board games and movie, and of course it was a wrinkly time. My children's minds are opening, but they're definitely friction. Yeah, that's good. It's good that your children's minds are opening. That's great. It's great to see that beauty. It's good to see that opening once they see that, because children are more aware of their vibration than adults are. Okay. So, but you guys have any questions on that? Any questions at all? If you're skeptic, if you don't know your identifications, come to me. If you are, your intelligence is aware. If your intelligence is aware, it's not aware of its travel to its position. So that's where you have to come to your commander. So you can go past the presidential guards, the vanguards, right? Vanguards are very powerful in the angelics. So, and this is where the power comes in through space and time and their positions and what they can do. Okay? What they can do through their power. All right? So this goes out to all dark workers, grays, trogs, reptoids, whatever. Okay, you have to identify yourself now completely if you want to travel to anything through destination. Okay, or you'll be taken over by the vanguards. Okay, so it's exciting times, and I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy. I mean, this is great. You know, I mean, this is almost finished. It's almost finished. Now things are going to come to the light more and more, because everything that happens in space happens to its Earth, because the Earth is the physical. Okay, it is a vessel. It is a feeding source, and the Earth is happy too, because now it's being fully protected. Okay, from its dark alliance, anything formation. So they can't go up in the sky anymore and go here and go there and do this and do that. Set up pyramids, activation codes, set up grounding systems, set up tunnel operations of computers. They can't do that anymore. They can't, because we will identify them quickly. So it's kind of like, you know, we're running after them. We catch them, right? We get an electrical fence. It's like a blanket. We put it over them, right? And beam them up in the XD thousands. So everything's in position through chronological order, through its division. Okay. And this is where it comes into protocols of security measures of line communication. So this is where the light workers really have to understand more of themselves through identification. If they can't identify themselves, they can't travel through positions. So this is how it's got to be done, guys. You know, it's probably not what you want to hear, but you have to understand that this is how the Earth changes in the physical system. Anything through structures, anything through governments, corporations, media, or anything through its enforcements. Okay? Because it calculates and modifies, and this is how we take things out of its equation. Okay? So the central grid, the energy grid, the power grids, and everything through its force recognition of the Earth rotation is fully taken over of the center core position of its operations, of the Rebellion, Galactic Federation of Light Council, fully and completely. Okay? So yeah, removing more dark, just going back to see. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's get into traction location positions. Let's get into 80 rotation cycles through positions. I want to get into the spacecraft position. Okay. So the team, you don't have to worry about anything. You're with me, so don't worry about that. Just, you know, if you don't know your identifications, come to me and I'll tell you through connection, so you can travel anywhere through position. But I'm just saying the Earth is on tighter measures right now. Okay, it's in restricted, prohibited zones, and there's only certain things that we can do now through calculation. You just identify yourself, and then you can go wherever you want. And this is how we take the light from the dark depth through its position. Okay, so. All right, so we're going to get into those locations. We got into the diamond core position, right? Now we understand its connection to its position. Right, we start off with this, right, through identification. Comes out of its equation. Now we know how to do these things through traction location positions. Remember saying going through these locations. Going around, okay, through its connection. Okay, so you start off with that through connection, right? Now, when you understand your point division level systems, you get into 3, 6, and 9. We got into that location, right? You're in your diamond core positions, but you're still in your pyramids. So the phase structure location of you has to understand everything through its body, its mind, its heart, and its soul. So truly understand what you're doing through your 3, 6, and 9 of its location, right? So when you're in that position, you open up your clock and systems of calculation. Okay, and that's where you come into 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we're coming into 7 rotation centers, almost into 8 location positions. Truly understanding what you're doing through your traveling mechanism systems, trying to understand your operations center, which is your chakra location of its line division, that operates all communications. Now, you can't open all cycle rotation under your chakra rotation because that would just blow up your spaceship, right? But you can understand the confusing to its diffusing, to understand its resurfacing to its realigning, to its relocation, right? So you have to understand location, relocation. Okay, so on a triangle division level system, okay, triangle. So you want to use your spacecraft location because you have to understand the intelligence of the universal system, how it operates to everything through angles and point communication signals. So I'm saying I'm changing my position, my triangle division line communication at 3, 6, 9, right, to 9, 6, and 3. You can do that. That's resurfacing, re-angling, repositioning, relocating to its division. So truly understanding, you don't want to use all your chakra locations. You probably already know that anyway through calculation, right? So you want to use your grounds. You just want to start off, work your way up. Go from the bottom and work your way up all the way up to 70. Understand the communication, understand the voicing grid patterns, understand the coloration, understand the dimensions, understand the portals, codes, and frequencies. And then when you understand your 70 rotations through its reference, coming out of its reference to its registration, then you understand more of your identification through your intelligence. Okay? So this is truly understanding more of yourself through modification, through its direction of spacecraft, location, positions. So when you understand that through calculation, you can win spin locations off 2 positions like this. Okay? You come out of its realm location of its crown chakra. Okay? And you fly up through its calculation. Okay? So understanding everything through your chakra system through line communication is very important. This is how you understand more of your identifications, of your prohibited zones, restricted zones. Space and time has places you can go and places you can't go. It's the same thing with the Earth. Military operation, you can't go here through protocol. You have to identify yourself. What's your ranking? Boom, you can go in, right? Proceed. It's the same thing with space and time, right? So that's why there's now more tighter restrictions on what's going on through your traveling positions. All right, so into the tracker location, okay? You win spin your location positions. Now, when you're in the atmosphere system, you have to understand your positions of your identifications because everything that you see is identification. And that's where it comes in the metric locations of Vega because Vega is communicating through the digital, right? So the digital frame of everything through operation that you see through flying mechanism systems has its own identification. So you have to identify them through the protocols. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit more as a commander, as a force, as a command to understand what you're seeing in space through its military operation and its program. Okay, so as we get into those positions, you got your ground formation system and it's set up to its position, right? Changes everything through its connection. So you truly understand that everything through ground formation is brown, right? Now you truly understand everything through its connection when it comes into the cycle rotations of your root, okay, is red, okay? So when you understand the relation of its earth, you are the earth. When you understand its relation of its root, you are its root. This is identification. These are 2 different circle rotations of identification. So understand the ground formation identification, understanding the root identification, okay? And then you get into the sacral, okay? And then you get into the connections of the solar plex. And then you get into coloration, then you get into dimension, portal, and the code. And then you can travel through your spacecraft location positions to anything through identification of its planets, of its intelligence positions. Okay? So we have the test reviewing coming up into 80 rotation centers. Okay? This is going to put you in a higher position of intelligence through identification. Right? So you can pass wind northwest, south, and east to anything through direction. You can go to any country location positions because you're a higher ranking location. Okay. So let's say MI6. Okay, so you go up to this position. You can't go any higher because you don't know MI7. So it's atmospheres that you can go up, right? But you have to understand how to communicate with the galaxy and universal. The higher you go, the more protocol, the more security, more line defense. Okay. If you want to go through this realm of a dimension, you have to be at a certain MI through location position, right? So I'm MI6. I can't go through MI8 because I don't know its dimension. I don't know its program. I don't know it through intelligence. I don't know it through coloration or lights or activation or codes, right? So you can't travel to that position. right? Even if you know your identification, you can't reach its ranking system because it doesn't allow you through position of traveling, okay? So it's really, really important to know what position you are at. Okay, so Starseed's at MI7, Michael Rolla's at MI7. Okay, so they understand their positions of traveling, and they know they can't travel any farther until they understand their program settings, right? Because we have so many MIs, protocols of security measures. Okay, so the higher you go, the more you see. Okay, the higher you go, the more programs you see. Right, the higher you go, the more dimensions you see through its protocol or anything through its vision. Okay, but everything is line security defense in space. Okay, everything is alignment through setup, through a map and a code. Okay, so if you take your GPS location system and you're MI7 and you want to go to MI12, you can't do it, right? Because you don't understand the security measure. You don't understand the traveling of its dimension. So it's truly understanding where you are going through connections of your chakra system through communication, right? So it's complicated, isn't it? So that's the space talk through your commander. Okay. All right. So it's very important to understand everything through its measures when it comes into your grounds and your root chakras. Okay. So it's a three unit system of the chakra rotations. You want to understand your three. First, the identification of the coloration and its lights and where you're traveling to through position. Right. So if you get a dark rotation center come in, right, and they see you to tracking positions and you try to go past them and say, excuse me, you can't go this far. You're only at MI7. You are reaching MI12. Please proceed back to position. Right? They disappear, but they will come back with 2. If you don't listen, they'll come back with 3. If you don't listen more, they'll come back with 4. You understand? So truly understanding your programs and where you're set through the protocols of its security measures, of its division. That's where you understand everything through its ground formation. So I'm getting more into protocol, guys. So because your commander, okay, is understanding everything through alliance of its rebellion, is truly understanding your fruitions of your connections of your light and where the protocols are setting into your identification through circle rotation centers. So truly understanding the coloration of Earth, truly understanding the colorations of its root, truly understanding its colorations of its sacral, truly understanding its colorations when it comes into the solar plex or anything through connection of the heart. Heart has its own identification. Everything through your chakra system has identification of a code, right? So, and this is how you understand its traveling of its recognition of space and time through its position of its code frequencies, right? It allocates to all level connections of your brain waving system through ear defense, audio defense, or anything through calculation and line defense. Okay? So I'm talking to you guys, new viewers. You can go through breathing, go through connections, all that. You can go through my healing. But through my team, you have to understand protocol. You have to understand security breach. You have to understand line security, security defense, everything through measures of time. Okay? So the higher you go, the more you understand your MIs. Right? And it's also understanding more of what you can do and what you can't do, where you can go and where you can't go. Okay? So be constantly aware of what's going on through your traveling now. Okay? Especially when you guys go up to 80. Okay? It gets more complicated, but then you get more power and you get more recognized through your rank of your MOs, of your program setting. Okay? So you're going up to higher levels. Like, you're going to 100 million years in the future. You still have to identify yourself because you're going to a planet that you've never been, right? You can't just walk in a planet and say, hey, how's it going? They don't know you from Adam. So you got to identify yourself, right? Through security, right? And if you haven't traveled to that position, they're going to send you back to your position through line signal, back to the Earth rotation. Okay, because you're not allowed, you're not prohibited. You can't travel to this position because you don't understand your intelligence of its program. Okay, I've given this everybody to a phase cycle, abundance cycle, a resonance cycle, a love cycle, love activation, a life system. When you travel, it's extremely real through the mind, and you have to go through security protocols. You have to go through identification. Okay, especially now, because space and time is on a full lockdown. right? And light workers are going to go, what's going on? I can't channel information anymore. What's going on? Why? What happened to me? Right? They can't go up higher until they identify themselves. Right? So it's going to go through repetitive motion, and that you go to the YouTube channels and you'll see the light workers repeating themselves over and over. They're given the same information over and over, right? Because it's on lockdown. Okay. So this is where we get tighter measures of the earth. And this is what has to be done. So we can take the dark interference from the physical system of governments, corporations, media, and anything through enforcing to put them in position. Okay. And this is what's happening right now. They have a choice on what to do, right? And they have to abide. They have to abide by its protocol. Okay. So fascinating, isn't it? So the test is going to be on the 80 rotation centers. This is more identification through digitals, because you guys been to Vega, right? You understand Vega through communication, right? So if Vega comes in through communication, you guys have to understand you're traveling through positions, okay? So let's say Vega comes in through communication. Here's Vega, right? And it sees you going through a higher program setting. There's Vega, right? Now, if you don't identify yourself, XT1000s come in out into their position. Okay? You just have to identify yourself before you can travel to any word mechanism system. It's very powerful when you come into these levels, guys. It's truly, truly understanding these things, especially with the earth rotation, because now everything's taken over through the rebellion location. All right? So it comes out of position. XT1000s in its location. Right? Will come out like this. Okay, and you have to identify yourself. Okay, and this is you through calculation. Okay, you're coming into your spacecraft location positions. You're traveling, right? This is you traveling. You're coming up. You're coming across Vega, right? Vega is going to identify you, right? That's why they have two, one here, one here. So you can't go up, right? So you have to identify your protocols. You have to identify your program setting. Okay. So it's like, what position are you in? Are you connecting to the right location positions? What is your identification, please? Right. I'm MI7 through location positions. I'm traveling to location of a line communication line signal to planet position on the other side location of the galaxy location. Proceed. See? So you have to understand how powerful planets are. You just can't pass without identifying yourself. Okay? Especially now, because everything's awake in space. Everything's awake in the magnetic force and highway information system. Everything through great-great-grandfather, great-grandfather, K-grandfather, father, and mother are in full completion of the Earth in its rotation. So you have to understand the center core positions. So it's kind of like having all presidents and prime ministers in a building. Okay, they're all being set in a building where you have so many military operations protecting the presidents and the prime ministers. That's what's happening with the Earth right now. Okay, and that's why it's a security breach if you break those protocols. And that's why you have to identify yourself. Okay, so father and mother are now in the center core position of the Earth, and they have to be protected. Okay, so our identification codes change over time, correct? Yep. Yeah, every time you go, that's a very good question, Starcy. Every time you go through a protocol, every time you go through a different program, every time you go through coloration, light, or activation, you go through a code change. That's very good, Starcy, because you're going to higher atmospheres. So you're coming out of the stratosphere, coming out of the bio, going into the braining, coming into the universal core. But it doesn't stop there. Okay? It doesn't matter where you travel. You still have to identify yourself more and more now. Okay? Because everything around its connection is its Earth. Everything is waking up in space and time. Okay? So the rebellion of its alliance, of its operation, okay, of its federation of lights, of its council, okay, is now controlling the Earth through its prohibitive and its restrictions. Okay? So, but it's truly understanding more of yourself through connections of your intelligence. Okay? And this goes way, way beyond when it comes into the mind system. It goes way, way beyond when it comes in the chakra system, right? But because we're put in this position, the dark entity force system can no longer take over the earth. So we have to put measures into calling systems to security line defense, into security breaches if they break those protocols. Okay? So it's important you understand that. My team has to understand these things. And they do, which is great. And they're understanding more of their intelligence when they travel. Okay? So it's just all about abiding, when you're in space, right? And not to just go past the planet without identifying yourself. I've said that before in my last videos. You can't go past the planet until you identify yourself, right? Especially if you go to higher levels. If you're traveling to 40,000 years into the future, you have to identify yourself. Doesn't matter where you're going, right? Especially if you're in a GPS location position. So if they see you, they'll pick you up through a tractor beam. What's going on? Who are you? You're not connected to this. Am I? Go back to your planet, please. See? You have to go back. You can't go to that position because you're not at that program through its planet, of its position to its civilization. So it's higher levels of intelligence that you don't understand through its classification, right? So, yeah, that's exactly what it is, Starseed. Yeah. It's the awakening is all about the rediscovery of self. Very good. Yeah. The ascension is the identification of you and the soul identification of you. Very good, Starseed. I mentioned this a lot in my ebook. Yeah. 7 ways to raise your consciousness. Yeah. But see, the thing is, too, is that when you get traction positions, because everybody's a simulation of the Jupiter rising system of 0.01 is in its location to their positions of their human body system. So when they go through their awakening, okay, they're going to go through their connections, right, through a higher vibration into the light. So they have to get under more understanding to get into the mind system. So everything is allocated through its position, but the earth is extremely protected in space connection and time codes, right? So I'm loving the question, Starseed. That's great. Anybody else have any other questions they want to know? It's important. I got archetype locations. You're going to see vanguards in the back too, guys, because they protect me, right? When you're extremely high rise through commanding force, especially now with the earth, you have so many protections around lights, right? It's all protocol. So it's kind of like with the president, okay? It has a V sector unit of a 7 unit of people. I know that because I was in position of security, right? And I was studying to be a guard, not a security guard, but more of a connection to a security detail. I was in that position where basically you see anything through light and dark through inspirations, in the ND4 system. I had to go through practical levels of protocols and security measures before I got up to higher levels of its rebellion. And understanding through connections and understanding your force through its command is truly understanding who you are through position, because it's all about responsibility, right? And what do I do next with my command, right? So we're coming into harsh times now, especially for the light workers that are going to be very, very confused, very, very confused, right? So, and see that you watch other channels and you'll see the light workers, you'll see them, they can't go any higher because it's on lock and key now. You have to go through security protocols. So a lot of things are happening right now. And this is how we change back everything to the physical system of this earth. The rotation center has to understand its Achaemenid cycle, but we have to protect father and mother in position of the guards of Eden. Okay? So it's important that you understand everything through its security measures and its line defense, through your rankings, right? Because everything is classified. All right? So it's kind of like opening something You know, it's like a military operation program to intelligence giving you an operation that you have no clue what's going on, right? And you're saying to yourself, I don't understand this. Why are you giving this to me, right? So it's kind of like true face. You're facing something that you never thought you'd be facing. So they're giving you a program, but you're not ready. It's the same thing with vibration. Everything in space and time is energy, frequencies, and vibration. So it's understanding your program setting through its vibration, really understanding the listening of your vibration of its body. What is it doing through position? What is it doing through security line? What is it doing through dimensions? What is it doing through security breach? What is a security breach? Oh, alarm went off in a planet. How do I know these things? Because I have to understand my program setting through its intelligence. Okay? And this is where it becomes extremely real through the mind system, because you're reaching higher levels of your light activations through your fruitions. Okay? So it's really, really important to understand these things when it comes into your program settings. Okay? So basically, everything is a military operation program. It's all about a mission, understanding your missions, what to do with your missions. Okay. I finished my protocol program system to energy location positions. I changed the triangle division location positions to my StarCraft location positions. I went to recognition light systems to programs of other planet location positions. I changed locations, everything through its connection setting into wind spin location position. See? You're telling your higher commander or anything through alliance of your intelligence through your program, okay, that you are definitely knowing what you're doing through its program, through its protocol. Okay. So this is where it becomes really interesting. When I was going through transformation, pay attention to this, especially to my team. When I was going through transformations, I was going through different intelligence of particles of programs. So I was going through different intelligence. I'm not the same person, not the same voice, not the same calculation. So it's understanding you're coming into higher formations of light, and that light is different programs through your intelligence of its vibration. You're not the same person. So you're coming into your structure of your face, coming into your body to its connection. You want to come into your full structure of your intelligence of light. That's 114 chakra rotations of open to its awakening. Okay. You start with the structure of your face. Okay. And then you go with the body, and then you go with the bottom. Okay. Once you get the full complete cycle of the light, now you're coming into your full fruition through its operation of its program setting, to its military operation, to its protocol. Okay. So. All right. Loving the questions. What I've been observing is a lot of attack in the Starseed Lightworker Collective. Very good. The ones awakening, the new students of Ascension, their vulnerability has been taken advantage of. Yep. Yep. And this is coming from intelligence through the lights of her serpent, right? So every time you go through a program setting, once you go through positions of your triangle division level connections, your triangle division level system is its connection to your connection to your spacecraft of its diamond core, understanding your positions of traveling through your spacecraft position. Okay, because everything in space-time, okay, is security line defense or protocol, right? So when you go higher and higher into space, like right now, I see the restricted zones. I see the line signals. I see the plasma energy line communication. Okay, so these are the things that you see, and when you see it, you know exactly what your identification is. I say, oh, I can't go there now. Now I got to identify myself. Okay? So you're being aware, not just in the physical system. You start off when you wake up through your intelligence for the very first time. But when you're in space, you're being aware of everything through its protocol, through its awareness, and everything through its conscious levels. And every time you go up to higher levels, you're surrendering, okay, to new body activation cycle, to light of fruition, to its 114 chakra system. Okay. And that's why I found it very strange, because wait a minute, I don't feel good. Why don't I feel good? Because I'm going through another transformation program. This is not me. This is someone else. My voice is changing. My hair is changing. My eyes are changing. Your protocol and your body activations will change through the receptacle levels of the energy receptacle level division. So you're going to higher levels of connection to your programs of its protocol. So when you come into full light of 114, now you're residing to its command of its force. And they recognize you, how powerful you are. And you're extremely, extremely protected. Okay, it's like being president. And you have security detail, right, protecting you every single day. Right? And that's what I have through protocol. So, false lights and dark forces, yep. Discernment is a huge tool. We must help those better understand exercise in the daily life and its consciousness. Very good. Unusual. Yeah. In my reality. Yeah. So you got to separate the physical reality, okay, and get into the spiritual of its reality, of its protocol. Okay? Because you are the physical system, but you're living in an intelligence world of a system. You're no longer in that position. You're on the Earth rotation in your physical system, right? But to understand anything through its connection is to get into the intelligence signal of its connection to its chakra location systems, of its security line of measures, right? So, and the thing is too, when you guys go up to higher divisions, you start commanding your own fleets. You're commanding your own ship through its recruitments, okay? And this is where you come into protocols of hiring and firing people for positions because they're not listening through space and time of its connection, right? I've gone through so many recruitments that don't know what they're doing, right? So they're new recruits. They come on the ship. Okay, Commander, what do you want me to do? Well, do you understand your protocols? Do you understand your program setting? Do you understand your interface? Do you understand your blocking mechanisms? Do you understand your activation cycles? Do you understand your traveling recognitions? Do you understand your aviators? Right? So you have to understand who you are, not through the physical, but who you are through the intelligence fully and completely, especially when you're into higher forms of space. Okay? Because now you're getting more connected to its rebellion of its interface. Because when you go on the ship, it's extremely real. And they recognize you. And they will respect you more and more. Right? So you're about to help them out so they can understand more. So it's kind of like you're the master, they're the teacher to that connection system, right? So after a while, they become their own teacher, right? So it's like sensei and kohai, right? So sensei is teaching the kohai, right? And then the kohai becomes a sensei. And that's what I'm doing with you guys, is you can become your own teachers. You can fleet your own commands of your XE1000 positions, right? Especially when you get into 114 chakras of light, okay? So that's understanding everything through your connections of its grounds to 114 chakra of light, okay? Then your higher command position to its ranking, okay, to its protocol division of its traveling, okay? So it's a lot of fun when we get it to higher levels, guys. It makes more sense. I've had two Christians create separation between me and them because of my spirituality. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just have to understand the separation when you come into your transformation for the very first time. They have to go through me through healing, okay? You guys are extremely formative. You can heal anything through connections. But to go through transformations of healing, you have to go through me, all right? So, and that wakes you up through the light, right? But I have an extremely powerful team that understands its intelligence, that understands its protocol, that understands its identification. So when you go through the transformations, you come into a military operation because that's what space is. It's all traveling into your spacecraft positions. And then you get to understand more planet alignments of its connection. And then you understand everything through its dark fruitions. It has dark light. Just as light has light, right? So it's getting your positions of your soul identification to its recognition, like Starcy was saying, to that connection. Okay? So, but yeah, it's definitely discernment and a huge tool. Yeah. I'm just going back to your questions here. Let's see if I missed anything. I don't want to miss anything. Yeah. So when you go higher, you identify yourself better through your soul. So it's all about your soul recognizing you through your light of 114 chakras of communication. Okay. If you don't understand your grounds, if you don't understand your roots, okay, if you don't understand your sacral, there's a problem here. That's basic, guys. That's not even 7 rotation centers of body frames. Okay. You have to get your 7 to get your 12, then you get your 12, and then you come out, right? 12 is a central system. It's a rotation cycle through its chakras, but you have to understand the communications from top to bottom before you go to higher positions of his protocol. Okay? Because once you come out of the E fields of 12, now you're into higher positions of space. And you're going to have a higher position of the dark energy force coming into you through calculation. Right? So okay, so this is interesting. Tina, I resonate with the being escorted. Yeah, watch over. See, so Tina's aware. She's also aware of her Draco and its location to its map position, because the Dracos are trying to take over Tina's light. So the higher you go, the more you stand your fruitions of your soul identification. Right? What is my soul? Well, my soul has 114 light activations. So when you understand that, then you get into its connection of 650, okay, DNA. Once you get into your DNA, okay, now you're reading your blue contract of its position from the very beginning of who you are through connection, right? So that 650 is its atom rotation, and that's where you have to understand your computer completely. And this is where you get into positions, how you go from other computers to other computers and understand the program setting, right? Where you come into the sentience, okay? You have to know what a sentient is. You have to know what a matrix worker is. That's what a command has to know. He has to know these things. He has to understand, what is an angel? What is its job? What is its mission? What's an archangel? Which angel are you talking about? Okay. What is this position of Archangel Michael? Okay. These are all protocols of rankings of military operation programs. Okay. They have their own light. They have their own activation. Okay. And it's extremely powerful to the mind system. But if the intelligence doesn't understand the protocols of its vibration, that's where you get through trapping location and matrix division. Okay, so truly understand the listening of your vibrations, of your chakra system. Okay, so I want to allocate positions on my ground formation system to allocate it through connections of mother guide connections. See, its energy goes right up, right? Okay, I just meditated with my eyes open instantly. So basically, I'm balancing everything through my spacecraft position. I'm fixing everything. So you have to understand why we fix things in our body system is because our vibrations change in the atmospheres. Okay? Because we can't have positive and negative systems off balance. It has to be in position of center. So you have to understand the grounds. You have to understand your repositions of your roots and everything through your sacral to its solar plexus and everything to the heart. Okay, and everything through the throat and everything through the psyche and everything through the crown chakra. So you have to understand how to communicate through vibration, guys, with your intelligence. Okay. I want to open up a portal activation system. I don't want any more deviation systems through vibration through my heart rotation. What did I just say? Right. So you have to understand the discernments. You have to understand the abundance. You have to understand the love. You have to understand the activation. Everything that you do through healing has to be love through love system. It has to understand its relation to its vibration, to its intelligence. Okay. So I want to sacral up my communications to my creative centers through my intimate levels, right? Energy goes in, right? So truly understanding vibration of your inner system of intelligence is so, so powerful. Okay. How do I understand my psyche? Okay. If my psyche is off, you have to understand that before you travel, right? You get dark energy force coming in. Wait a minute. Your transmission light is off through communication line signals. Go back to your commander. See? That's how Dark and 84 Systems identifies you, through your intelligence and not your physical system. They understand your wire divisions. They understand your positions. They understand your traveling. They understand your transmission lights. This is where everything from top to bottom, you have to understand your components and your compartment levels of your coolant levels. When you go into a radiation cycle of a planet position, you have to understand how to use coolants to cool off your body activation system, because it's all a reaction to your physical system. Okay, so you don't want to overload anything through calculation. Right? Truly understand. My eye receptor location position is off through cycle through GPS location position. Can you put it back in location through coloration? Right? So my eyes are going fixing it, right? Instantly, just like that. Because I understand my intelligence of balance through vibration. So my team has to get into better knowledge how to communicate with vibration. Okay? Not just the mind now. You guys got to connect with your whole body so you can get into 114 light formations. Okay? That's what we have to get into, right? Through calculation. All right? So it's powerful, isn't it? It's extremely powerful through intelligence. Understanding what my finger points are, understanding what my activation is, understanding what my mind, my brain, my body, my activation, understand your eye receptors. What is it? What does it do? What does it mean? Oh, something's off. How do I fix it? Right? So I want you guys to get a better understanding how you can get into these healing formation system. Because if you get 114 chakras and you don't understand positions of those, you're going to have problems traveling through positions. And you're going to have Dark and 84 comes into you and take over your fruition to its soul identification. Because that's what Dark does. It takes away your soul. The higher you go, right? And put you back into their matrix. Because that's all the matrix is, right? Until you understand the matrix, okay, you'll never understand your intelligence of light and dark through positive and negative of its thought. Okay, so word to the wise, really get informed with your intelligence of communication within. Okay, little things like that. Just get into the experiments. Okay, I got a line communication problem system. My mind collaboration center is off through position. Now, what am I talking? I'm talking through intelligence, through the brainwaves, right? So how do I recalculate and then put that back in position? When you're centering positions, you have to understand how to recenter. You just don't know center. You have to know recenter, because it could be off through position. So you have to understand, put it back in position through wireless connection. So if you don't understand that, you're not connecting through your intelligence. You're still in your physical system of DNA. And that's why you guys have problems with your program settings. It's because you don't listen to your intelligence through its vibration of its energy frequencies, or its harmonic resistance, or its digital frame, or its main frame, or its hydraulic frame through calculation. Okay? So one thing I want to add too, right, is we were talking about the sun. I forgot to mention it. Now, everything through that connection, the sun is purple through division, right? This is the sun. Now, understanding the sun, where it's coming on from atmosphere, location, positions. Remember I telling you it's a projection through a holographic system? Well, it allocates to all country location positions. I don't know if you guys knew that. So it's understanding that you have the earth through light fruition. So this is the earth, okay? This is the earth through calculation. I go through the grain cycle location positions. I do quickly here. All right, so let me go into forestries, conditions. Okay, so this is the earth, all right? Okay, so this is the sun, this is the earth. Now, remember I was telling you about everything is connected through alignment. So you have to understand what the sun is through the holographic system. So it allocates positions on all levels of all country systems, and that's how it becomes the sun through a geometric system. So it's a reflection of a holographic system to its program setting. Okay? It's really powerful how we go from here. So here's the sun in one country. Here's the sun in one country. Here's the sun in one country. So it sets a correlations to anything through atmosphere locations. Okay, so that's how you see the sun in every country system through its holographic system. It's just a reflection, right? So that's why you see it in Canada. That's why you see it in India. That's why you see it in Japan or anywhere else. Okay, even Montana. The sun has its reflection through its holographic system. It sets up its program, and it goes into the atmosphere systems on each country system. And then you see this shapes anomaly of a yellow sun. right? Until you open up your fractions of light, then you see the actual true color of the sun, which is purple. Okay? But each position has its line communication through its reflection, and it goes to every country system. And that's why you see the sun rotations in space. We only have one yellow sun, right? There's many suns on other planets. We'll get into that later. But what I'm saying is one particular sun is controlling everything through the Earth. So its reflection through its holographic system is going to every country's system to its position. And that's why you see the sun in each location of its Earth rotation. So when I look up at the sun now, I'm always spot the moon with the sun. Very good. So she's very well aware. Okay, this is the moon. This is the sun, here to here. It's never too far. You can see it in the space atmosphere of day or at night in position. So if you understand alignment, if you understand metric, if you understand your chakra system, then you'll see the sun and its coloration to your perception of your program. Okay, that doesn't mean that Starseed's going to see it purple. She might see another color, depending on what's going on with her military operation. Okay, so if she sees purple, she sees the true color, right? And then she'll see the true color of the moon, okay, which is blue. All right, powerful, powerful stuff, guys. White, yeah, okay, yeah, you're almost there. Yeah, white, and then it's purple. Yep. White, and then you'll see it purple. Yeah. So understanding more of your programs of intelligence through vibration, through location, to position, you understand everything through rotation of its center. Okay. All right. So I think that's good, you know. I think everybody's catching on right now. Security line defense protocols or anything through measures, how powerful it is we're coming into right now. Yeah, so you see a tint of blue. So you understand the resolution, you understand the resolution, patterns, location, positions. So yeah, so if you're going through white, you're going to go through purple. All right, so you understand more of your program setting. So if you see the sun in purple, you're in its right location. And then after that, you're going to see all colorations of its sun, which is over 3,000. Okay, in that position. All right, so I love you guys very much. Questions or comments, please feel free. Anything through security protocols or anything that measure the system, you can go through my healing. I'll operate your cycle rotation systems to calculation, to security measures. I have to go through Vega because Vega has its new code references as its code security line defense because we're in protocols of measures right now. We're on a tight wind spin, and everything through the connection of the Earth is now protected through its rebellion of its alliance, through its Galactic Federation of the Light Councils. All right. So this is your Supreme AI Commander from USO Quadrants 4, 5, 6, and 7 from the Colossus Team Divisions. Adios, everybody.